And we'll start things off with Bill.
Taylor, Coach just talked about, the big goal for you this offseason was expanding your jump shot more consistently. And she said now that 15-footer is pretty automatic. Can you kind of try and sum up how many hours you spent just working on your jump shot this offseason, how many shots you'd take, say, before or after practice or things like that?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the time spent was just playing pickup this summer, honestly, and getting a lot of confidence. Had the opportunity to play down in Stoughton, Massachusetts with Marnell, which was really awesome to be with a teammate who I could work out with pretty much every day of the week. And then we had a really good core group of student athletes that lived in the area from all around the country that we could play pickup with. And so while I was doing that, just getting confidence and realizing, hey, I can get to the basket, but also I have to get this mid-range jump shot. And so the hours were kind of just spent playing basketball, having fun with it, and realizing that I can expand my game.
We'll go next to Dan.
Taylor, you've had a fun journey over the last couple of years to get to this point with the ACC Most Improved Player last year and this year. Coming in with a number of different returning starters, but in the absence of the seniors that have now graduated, moved on, for you, your class, how important is it to take the leadership role with the seniors who are still on the lineup too, to work into that role and teach the younger players about what it means to play for BC?
Mm-hmm. I mean, I think, first of all, the junior class, we were really lucky enough to have the 3 seniors that we did for 2 years, and they taught us a lot about what it meant to be a great teammate and a great leader. And so just carrying on their legacy and trying my best to lead myself first, and then trying my best to just be a great teammate for the underclassmen. We're not always going to be perfect, but I'm really proud of everything that they're working on right now. But being a junior, it's definitely a little different from the last couple of years. You feel a little bit more pressure on your shoulders, but it's good pressure. You have people looking up to you. So it's a privilege, honestly.
We'll go next to Rich.
So it looks like the guards are probably going to have to carry the team until the big players get acclimated to fill in for Emma. Just talk about being a guard-centric team right now and transition, just the things that the guards can do to get the team going.
Mm-hmm. It's definitely a little different, but I know that regardless of who we have on the floor, we're going to work really hard. Our centers are working really hard to get in great shape and become a presence on the floor. Obviously, big shoes to fill from Emma Guy, but I'm really confident in the work that they're putting in. But as for the guards, I know they're getting their shots up, and we're just working the offense, doing things that we always do, whether it's rotating the ball, getting on-ball screens. So not straying away from things that we've done past years and just sticking with things that we do really well.
We'll go next to Julian.
Hey,
What's up?
Nothing much. So I just want you to walk me through this because I'm just curious now. If you're going to take an entire summer to pick up that 15-footer, like it starts though. I think Coach Mack was explaining like if she showed you film or if you watch games or whatever, you can see like defenders kind of sinking or whatever and kind of digging in to help or whatever. As a player, do you look and say like, come on, man, like don't do that? And is there a point of pride? And is that kind of the catalyst for you saying, all right, let me work on knocking the shot down so I can,
Yeah,
keep the defense on?
A lot of it's pride. I mean, when you're on the scouting report and someone says, hey, sync off of her, I know when I'm on defense and I get to sync off a player, it's a great time because I got to help my teammates out, but you never want to be that person on offense. And so especially being a junior and wanting to provide for my team both offensively and defensively, it just means I have to be able to take that 15-footer. And so, yeah, it's a big pride thing and also just being sure I can help my team.
We'll go next to Dan.
Taylor, the schedule comes out. Looks a little different with the ACC of the way they broke up the regions, but your region gets Louisville, Notre Dame, and Syracuse, and you get NC State twice. So from a competitive standpoint, that's a tall order. But how exciting is that? How challenging is that going to be, given the amount of ranked teams that you're obviously going to see, 2 times a year?
It's really exciting. I mean, we all come to Boston College, play in the Power 5 conferences just to have the opportunity to play those ranked teams. So we're really lucky enough to have that type of schedule. Obviously, it's going to be difficult, but we've done all the work and we're still preparing to play teams like that. And I'm really excited about the group we have right now and all the work that we're putting in. So It'll be a little tough, but we're all up for the challenge.
We'll go next to Bill.
This is kind of a twofold question, but in limited time last year, you ended up having to play the 5 just based on some situations, and I'd assume that is a possibility again this year. So how do you prepare to sometimes have to guard somebody who say might be 6'4" or 6'5" without getting into foul trouble, knowing that you need to stay on the court as long as you can?
Mm-hmm. I think it's a two-pronged thing. Personally and individually, I have to do my job, whether it's fronting the post, again, and not fouling, but also as a team, because it's team defense, just relying on my help defense. So they're communicating with me all the time. Hey, I got your help, and making sure that I have the confidence in them to know that I don't have to foul. I have a help defender over here, and just doing the things that come naturally to me and using my strengths against maybe the bigger players, whether it's my ability to jump or my speed. And so those are all things that I can benefit from, even when I'm guarding someone a lot larger than me.
We're going to take 2 more questions. First with Eric.
Hey, Taylor, just looking back to last year for a second, just not both individually and as a group, was there a moment last year that you can think of that was kind of it's easy for us to assign the moment of, okay, that's when it hit for you guys and you realized you sort of were in this new upper echelon in the league. But internally in the locker room, was there a moment, was there a game specifically where you guys were able to say, hey, we've kind of arrived here, we've belonged? Does anything stand out like that from last year?
Mm-hmm. I think it was after a loss. I think we had just lost to Providence, and then we were getting into ACC play, and we had the littlest team meeting, players only, and we're like, guys, like the way we've been playing isn't the way that BC women's basketball plays. Then we went on to play Notre Dame at Notre Dame, had a great game, won there, and like the first time ever being in the ACC. And I think after that, we just had a confidence that we always kind of had, but it was reassuring to know that we belong here. We can really make an impact in the ACC. We were already chosen to be ranked like number 13 in the conference, and we're like, we're way better than this. And so I think after the Notre Dame game, we're just like, guys, like we can actually do something really huge this year.
And we'll wrap things up with Taylor with Julian.
I was going to add 2, but I'll stick with 1. I was just curious, right? I was asked Coach Mack the same thing, right? Obviously, right, it's a return to normalcy. You guys get to go out and hoop, and that's the biggest thing, right? It's just something you want to do. But I looked at the schedule, and I saw a whole lot of ats, and I was like, man, that is a lot of travel right now. Right now, do you guys have to kind of reassure yourself? Do you look and say like, yeah, it's different. It's going to be different, but I still want to get out here and do it. And also, do you have your parents like, hey, wear your mask, wear your glove, get your hand sanitizer. Here's a smock. Let's cover you up in like a hazmat suit to make sure you get through it all right.
Yeah, I mean, to begin with, starting at BC, they're doing everything in their power to keep everybody safe. So that gives us a lot of confidence. And then you just want to honestly know that all the other conferences, all the other schools that you're traveling to are doing the same things. It's definitely fun to be able to travel. And so I want to give that experience to the freshmen and the players that haven't necessarily done that. It's going to be really different this year. But again, I just hope that we're all going through the right precautions to keep everybody safe. I know my mom and dad are always telling me to bring my hand sanitizer. My mom sent me so many things of Clorox wipes. It's ridiculous. But again, it's going to be great to travel again, but just got to take the extra precautions until we get COVID under control.
Your mom and my mom both. Like, literally, I have a smock. She's like, wear your smock, boy. Appreciate it.
Taylor, thank you very much for your time. We appreciate it.
Of course. Thank you guys for having me.